Hello friends, this is David Vose. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. I just got out of Walmart again. Oh, buddy. Say howdy to the doggies. Oh no, you did not chew up my cup, did you? Did you chew up my cup? You did, didn't you? And how many times have I told you not to come up here in the front seat and get my coffee cup when I'm out? You know what you did, didn't you? You know. Yeah. This here is Wally World. And, yeah, I went in there and, I think that some of the monkeys got loose. I mean, it was just kind of hectic. I didn't know it was that close to the holidays, but wall-to-wall ignoramus is what it is. And I don't like to be judgmental, and I'm not as a whole usually, but you know, I go in there and I'm going to get me some vitamin C because I had a cold, and I haven't had a cold in a long time. It's been a long time since I've really had a cold. But my nose is running and everything, so I wanted to get some vitamin C, and I thought, okay, I want to start taking vitamin C because that'll be good. So I go in there and I'm looking for vitamin C, trying to find vitamin C complex because that's what I used to buy, and I can't find it. And this is what I'm finding more and more at Walmart, is they only have what they got. And if you want anything more than that, you got to go to some specialty store. It used to be that vitamin C complex was just, you know, you can get that anywhere. Because if you're going to take vitamin C, you need the whole, it says vitamin C complex with rose hips is what I used to take. Anyway, I take a look at these, every one of them. I picked them up and turned it over onto the back to see what's in these. The first ingredient, you ready for this? Corn syrup. That's the first ingredient. So, you know, I'd already gotten accosted by the jingle dingle man at the front door, right? Begging for money for his elves and stuff. And, you know, so I thought, wow, I did find some that didn't have sugar in it. It was just plain old vitamin C tablets, and I got those. Then I went and got some cranberry juice, because that's supposed to be good for you and, you know, clean you out, good for colds and so forth. So I'm looking at cranberry juice, and have I told you guys that we're being lied to? That everything that's going on in this world's one big fat lie? Have I told you that? Well, it's true. Sun, all of a sudden. There wasn't any sun, and as soon as I start talking, there's sun in my face. But anyway, it says cranberry juice, and then you look at the label, and it's just cocktails. And what does that mean? And you read on the back, and it's just like soda pop. It's just high fructose corn syrup. That's what it's. Everything's made out of high fructose corn syrup. Somewhere along the line, now if you want to know how our government works, just take some notes here. Some farmers decided that, well, they weren't no farmers that did this. This was like Monsanto or something, because they got the market on corn, right? The only kind of corn you can buy is the corn that grows from the seeds that Monsanto makes. And so therefore they've replaced all the corn in the world. And they went to Congress and they got a little deal going, and they said, okay, we want you to subsidize this. So not only are we going to make so many dollars a barrel, whatever, this corn, or so many dollars an acre, but you're going to give us another, you know, double that, right? You're going to subsidize this, and we're going to put it into gasoline and make pollution go away. Well, that didn't happen, right? But as soon as they got that going, it got so cheap, they could just make corn so cheap, they started just trying to use it for anything and everything, right? So now anything you buy is going to be made somehow it's going to be made out of corn, because they can make so much money off of a acre of corn. They've got to put it in everything. So even if you're buying wheat cereal, it's going to have corn syrup in it. If you're buying soda pop, it's going to have high fructose corn syrup. If you're buying a candy bar, it's going to have high fructose corn syrup. The problem is that sugar was bad enough, right? Putting just refined white sugar in your candy bar was bad enough. But this high fructose corn syrup, they've done some studies, and they found that it'll destroy your liver quite speedily, and causes people to be obese and causes hormonal dysfunction and so forth. And as I showed you guys in another video that I did some months ago, you can go and look at that baby formula that they give children, babies, infant formula for babies, and it's all made out of high fructose corn syrup. You can go look at the adult formula, you know, the stuff that you're supposed to take they do the same thing with the breakfast drinks, but this is Ensure, those kinds of drinks. It's high fructose corn syrup. And then it's got all these vitamins, right? Oh, it must be good for you. Well, milk's got all the same vitamins, right? And there's no high fructose corn syrup. I don't know what's wrong with human beings, but instead of going and just drinking a glass of milk or eating some food, we're trying to tell these older people, these senior citizens, to drink this high fructose corn syrup. And by the way, feed your infants this stuff as well. You know, so that way these mothers won't have to breastfeed their babies. What they don't tell you is that not only is the high fructose corn syrup causing autoimmune deficiencies, but on top of that, there isn't any natural bacteria. You know, mother's milk has natural bacteria, which is crucial for life. And so babies are born, they never get the needed ingredients that they need. So, in other words, everything you see when you walk in here is just a farce, right? From the guy out there in the front with the elf hat, claiming that he's trying to make money for poor children or whatever. And of course, none of us knows or gets, they don't show us their tax returns or whatever, how much of this money is going to children and starving people in Africa or whatever. Most of it is going into some bureaucratic pocket. Well, before I went in here, I went and got me another cup of coffee at McDonald's, and I was sitting there, and nowadays they've got television. You know, Fox News was blaring right on the screen in front of me as I was drinking my coffee. I guess what's that guy's name? Schumer, Chuck Schumer. He was like, "I'm all serious now. I'm an actor, so now you got to believe me, right?" As soon as he saw the limousine leave with Trump in it, he got up the pulpit and got his friends at CNN to gather around, and they started shooting him while he gave this little speech, right? "Oh, Trump's an idiot, and he won't work with us," and I mean, oh my God, it is so evil, the lies that they tell. But what's hard for me is to watch people who don't agree with Chuck Schumer sit and just basically never call him out on anything. Just go, "Oh, well, that was Chuck Schumer and that was his point of view, and now let's move on." But they don't call him out on what he's saying. They don't point out the lies and the sheer I mean, does anybody even stop to ask the question as to why that Saturday Night Live blonde girl that's in all the movies, I forget her name, something Schumer, that's his I don't know if it's his daughter or his niece or his granddaughter or what it is, but they're related. Why should we believe this Jew who, for all I can tell, is in office because he's a Jew? And his granddaughter is in Hollywood because she's related to him, and they're all related to the Rothschilds or something, you know. Why are we taking these people seriously? When you can go and read the label and it's all high fructose corn syrup, when are we going to finally realize that it's all high fructose corn syrup? That it's all a bunch of lies? They're constantly berating the president because he doesn't know how to talk like a politician. Oh boy, he's just funny. He's you know, he's just crude. That's why I like him. Because anybody that hasn't gone to acting school, anybody that's not willing to go to acting school, but is just willing to get out there and say what they feel, that's the guy I want. You know, this whole thing that's just hit the airwaves a week ago about all these people that, oh, you know, it's such a travesty because somebody 20 years ago touched a girl on her butt. Honestly, I don't care. We've got to be the most insane people on the face of the cosmos. There's got to be, you know, little green men sitting up somewhere in their spaceships above this earth, just laughing their heads off at the outright hypocrisy and insanity that's going on this earth. The left is just so laughable. And the right, half of the right is probably trying to do something good, and the other half is just trying to obstruct those who are trying to do good. And so you've got about 3/4 of the people in politics, if not more, that are really trying to obstruct justice and lie to you at every turn. And you're probably not even, it's getting harder and harder. You might be thinking, oh, good, I'm sure glad they're cracking down on all this sexual harassment and everything. Come on. Remember when you were in school? Most of you men out there, did you ever tease a girl or, you know, say the word titty and laugh, right? Or you say, oh, these are adults. They're representatives, you know, of our republic. They've got to be exemplary. Some of these accusations are, I think, serious. Like if somebody was literally harassing people that work under them, that I agree. And I'm glad this getting out. Men are human beings. They're going to laugh at your boobies sometimes. They might even go across the line at times and say something inappropriate. And they should be reprimanded, especially if they're a senator. But no, I do not believe that someone who is elected to the United States government presidential office is now supposed to go through 2 years of investigation because he said pee-pee, or you know, he may possibly have touched a woman's butt back in the 1970s. That's insane. And that's what some of the people on the left are going to try and do with this. You see, if this was all about some Republican that had done something wrong, inappropriate, they'd be all over it. Oh, he should resign. This is just a travesty. This is terrible. But now that it's mostly Democrats getting in trouble, now it's like, oh, well, okay, yeah, let's just investigate all of them, including the president, and we're just going to shut the government down. And why are we investigating the president? It has nothing to do with the president. No, that was just two men off camera talking like men. Long before he ever knew he would ever run for president. Just a human being being a human being. It was crass. He admitted it. He apologized. Let's move on. But, however, if somebody had people working for him while a senator who was harassing those people, running around in his underwear, that person should resign immediately. But the left is not going to, they're not going to call for his resignation. I forgot his name, Connors or something. They're not going to ask for his resignation. They're just going to say, oh, well, when you fire the president, we'll fire Connors. And if this isn't an obvious obstruction of justice, and if 95% of you out there don't see through this, then we're not going to make it. There's a difference between human behavior, which is crass, or people who tell jokes that they shouldn't, they shouldn't tell. There's a difference between that and somebody who's literally harassing people in their staff, and that kind of thing we should not tolerate. That's just something that we should all be aware of. We should all know that. It's not like, oh, you've got to be a women's liver in order to know that. Everybody knows that. And it would be good if these new allegations, I think it would be good if we could use it to get rid of people that shouldn't be there. I think that might be what some of these Republicans are doing. As soon as that first allegation came out, I started realizing what they were doing when they started coming out with all these accusations. Boom, bam, bam, on the Democratic side. So I guess they're saying, all right, let's play fair. And hopefully they're going to take out some of these senators that they think they own this job, Supposed to be, senators are supposed to be voted in by the public. And I don't think most of these senators are actually voted in. I think most of these senators are just, it's like a rite of passage. They're rich people like Schumer. Rich bankers, Jews, from rich families who are simply buy their way in. See little birds? Hi, birdies. They buy their way into office, and then they think they're entitled to stay in that office. So if we can use these new allegations of sexual harassment against some of these people and get rid of them, weed out a bunch of them, I think it'd be great. Otherwise, I think it's a big insanity. Because if you can make somebody step down for simply walking up and touching somebody on the shoulder 20 years ago, then I think just about everybody in the Senate and in Congress should probably leave office. And that would be great. So I guess I've changed my mind. I guess I'm glad this is happening, and I hope they all get kicked out. Anyway, this is David Vose. I'm going to go ahead and go. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.